but not bitter host, Todd Huff.
All right, my friends, rocking here, ready to go. Locked and loaded. Getting ready to talk about, an interesting morning here on the Todd Huff Show. Inviting Mark Levin on the program. Mark Levin, syndicated talk show host, television show host, author, and a lawyer, an American lawyer here in this great country, and constitutional expert. He will be joining us next segment. I spoke with him yesterday and about his book, American Marxism, and that's what I want to talk about off the top this morning. Marxism in America today, this insidious ideology that's been permeating every aspect of our culture and our world today. And that's, again, the name of his book. And the concept of America as founded is, as I've said before, antithetical to, the opposite of Marxism. The collective versus the individual. Of course, logically, if individuals are protected, then individuals, when they join together and form groups, also carry with them that same protection. And so, but the other, unwinding that doesn't work. If you protect only the collective, if someone leaves the group or has an idea different from from the rest of the group, does something unique and different that doesn't follow the herd, that I don't know, for example, says that they don't believe in, or they question, I should say, they question some of the things that they heard about the integrity of the 2020 elections, that they have questions about the safety or the efficacy of a vaccine that they don't feel comfortable taking. They don't follow the narrative. They have questions about the January 6th so-called insurrection. I have never in my life, by the way, watched a group of politicians, a group of political opportunists try to redefine something in such a dramatic way to make it look like the enemy or the people. Again, I know that there's all sorts of things about this January 6th, what happened at the Capitol building on January 6th, but I don't want to get into all of that and the theories and the allegations and so forth about who really was doing what and who the group was and all this sort of stuff. And I do understand. I think that there are certainly questions that need to be asked, and that's really the point, right? I know that there are some who say that it was Antifa. There's some that say that that's ridiculous. There's some that say FBI agents were embedded. There's some who say that these FBI agents were trying to get the folks to go into the Capitol. There are videos that are questionable where Capitol Police have opened up certain barricades to let people into areas and that sort of thing. There's a lot of questions. That's the point. Whatever you think about this, you're not allowed to ask questions. And this soft form of American Marxism that I speak about with Mark Levin, that he writes about in his book, is that it is so insidious that it's taking control of every aspect of our lives. You think what the leaders, I don't even want to call them leaders, but the politicians tell you to think, you do what they tell you to do, or there's going to be proverbial hell to pay, right? Depending upon the particular situation. If you're Jim Banks and Jim Jordan, and you had questions about electors from certain states on January 6th, you can't be allowed on Nancy Pelosi's make-believe January 6th commission, right? This is about one thing. This is about positioning the 2022 election so that Democrats don't get the snot clobbered out of them. This is and by the way, Adam Kinzinger and Liz Cheney are willing, who have replaced on that committee, that commission, Jim Banks and Jim Jordan. They are content. They are content to help the Democrats because, as Kevin McCarthy said a couple of days ago, they are Pelosi Republicans. Pelosi Republicans. And so Marxism is insidious. It's all around us. It is covertly taking over the hearts and, well, the minds of many Americans, the hearts of some Americans, and it is not a good thing. It is the opposite of what we were created to have in this constitutional republic. Again, the idea between the differences between Marxism and the constitutional framework that we have here in this constitutional republic are profound. Are profound. One, again, believes that the individual matters. That's the constitutional republic that America was founded upon. Our founding documents talk about that, the importance of the individual. You've heard me say on this program many times before that this nation, for the first time, someone in the world believed that instead of being a subject to some ruler in some country, you were a citizen, that you had rights that were granted not by that government, but rather by Almighty God. Our founding documents say that, right? The Declaration of Independence makes that clear. You have the freedom to live your life as you choose. The federal government has responsibilities that are clearly defined in our Constitution, and those are limited, right? Those are limited. They're not unlimited. You're not meant or created to be a servant of the state. The government is there. Right? If men were angels, no government would be necessary. That's something that was said during the time of the founding of this great nation. And that's what the founders believed. Government is there because it is necessary. It doesn't mean that it is a dangerous force to be worked with, because at its core, government is force. Government is force. And so force is not a good thing. So you have to limit the power, the control, the scope of that government. The founders did that in our founding document in the Constitution. They did that. They gave certain constraints. They created lanes for which the federal government was supposed to be operating within, but in reality, that is not what is happening at all. The federal government is a bloated, just out of control, growing like wildfire. And by the way, doing as much metaphorical damage as a wildfire. That's what the government does. That's what the government does. You see some of these things happening in our public schools today, which are supposed to be, they're run by locally elected school boards. And you see some of the actions, the things that are being taught. You see some of the confrontations at school board meetings. And so you find a lot of these teachers and administrators that want to push these Marxist ideas upon students, force feed them, push them down, these young people's throats. They want to do this covertly. You've seen reports of students saying, we were told not to tell about this. This was secret. Shh, don't tell mom and dad. Don't tell mom and dad about this, right? That's not a good thing. That's not a constitutional thing. Someone who is in the government is not supposed, it's not funny, but it's just to have to say these things, folks, in 2021. The government is not in control of your children. The government is not in control of your life. The government cannot fulfill. They can make the promises all day. They cannot fulfill the promises to keep you safe and healthy. The things that they tell you on a regular basis, they quite literally, within minutes or hours or days or weeks, some short period of time, tell you precisely the opposite. And yes, I'm talking about COVID-19. And yes, I'm talking about the response to allegations of problems with election integrity in the 2020 elections and a host of other things, right? Headlines that say experts were wrong. So here we go. This ideological, and when I say, I've said this on the show repeatedly, and I believe it, the idea or the main problem we face in America, yes, we have to win elections in the short term, but this insidious, dangerous, just awful ideology that's permeating every aspect of our culture, what Mark Levin calls American Marxism, is a real thing. It is attacking us. It is undermining the American way of life, the American system, the American ideal at every corner, at every turn. And it takes so many forms, so many shapes, so many sizes, but at the core is this idea, this constant push towards America. You know, the founders, let me pause. The founders said, in order to form a more perfect union, we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union. So they understood that America could get better and that it never reaches that point of perfection, but it can continually seek to get better. Marxism says, no, America can't get better. This idea of American Marxism challenges the entire notion of this country. We need to have something different. We need to have the opposite. This is where we see the tensions and the turmoil that have been created by self-proclaimed Marxist leaders that lead the Black Lives Matter, critical race theory. The list of things go on and on. The extremists in the climate change movement. All of these things, all of these issues require certain actions according to the people who are making these arguments. And what are the actions required? That America turn from its system, that America embraces a system that is different, that is not fundamentally flawed, that is instead a utopia of sorts. That sounds great. That sounds so wonderful to so many people, but is unattainable this side of heaven. And so we deal in the world of mythical, make-believe gibberish. It's funny. It's not funny, but it is. Marxism gets to live in a world of hypotheticals because I was speaking with someone yesterday and they made this point. Marxism it deals with hypotheticals. You get to say that this is what the idea will allow us to do, and your imagination can run free. But capitalism, the American system, is held to reality. Well, this is happening in a capitalistic society. This is happening. These are some of the bad things that are happening in your free society. And then they compare that to this utopian society, and people say, wow, you can't, there's crime in a capitalistic society. They told me that in a utopian Marxist society that everybody's happy and holding hands and singing Kumbaya around the campfire. Wow, I wonder which one of those is better. Reminds me, actually, my wife and I years ago went to Jamestown, which honestly at the time I didn't, it was before I knew, by the way, documented by genealogists, scientifically demonstrated that I am the 13th great-grandchild of Pocahontas. That's where Pocahontas and Powhatan and those folks lived in that area, right? Jamestown, and there's placards out there, and it had like little drawings on it, and it would say, I'm paraphrasing, but this is the truth. The general gist of this, I don't remember specifically, but I remember it would say things like, before the white pioneer arrived, the Native Americans were catching fish in the local rivers that were, the size of great white sharks. I'm using hyperbole here. After the white European arrived, the fish were the size of your, tiny pinky fingernail. Was it better before or after the white man settled the colony or the settlement of Jamestown? This is the kind of narrative that that they established. And I remember standing there at the time thinking, these jokers, there wouldn't be this park without what Americans came and did. They wouldn't, these advancements, the placards, the study that went into what happened to tell this story, this national park, they just ignore all of the real advancements that were created in this country by the way that the ideas that were brought and the just the society that was the result of deliberate decisions made by people, the way that America was founded and our Constitution and our Republic and all that. They just ignore that. None of that matters. That would have happened anyway. In fact, they have you believe that if Marxism was the ruling way of thinking, if that was the system we had in this country, then we would be even better off. We would have everything we have and even more. We would have more peace, more prosperity, which is completely ridiculous. They are never held to the account of reality with their ideology because, again, it appeals to the heart, it appeals to the emotions. I remember in college when we were taking that, one of my last courses, Is Capitalism Really Better? Was really the name of the course, no joking around. We compared communism and capitalism, and I literally remember the professor. I won't say his name. I remember his name. I remember him. He was sympathetic to Soviet communism. He lived there for some time and would tell us how great it was and just these ideals that they were embracing and ignoring the bloodline or the bread lines, the bloodline. Sometimes there were bloodlines too, people that were trying to escape or that were forced into gulags, that were beaten cruelly without any reason whatsoever. But the bread lines were ignored. The people that were trying to flee those places, the reasons were ignored because the ideals sounded so great. And the professor would tell us the reason that communism didn't work is because they didn't find the right leader. The benevolent dictator had not come in yet. All these ideas are perfect. We just need a little bit better leader. Turns out Stalin, the brutal dictator, thug, murderer that he was, didn't fit the bill. Although they still, in some circles, talk about Stalin with a little gleam in their eye, a little sparkle in their eye when they talk about that dictator and murderous thug there. Anyway, this is an insidious thing. It's different than tradition. American Marxism, as Mark Levin will point out in our interview, is different than Marxism by the book, traditional Marxism, but there are similarities, and this specific brand, if you will, of Marxism in the United States, the word that I keep coming back to is insidious. It's everywhere. It's little by little. It's attacking your defenses, our defenses, slowly and surely, pecking away, just kind of bit by bit, softening us, or trying to soften us to the teachings and the lessons and the beliefs of this completely morally bankrupt ideology. It ends in tyranny. It ends in ruin. It ends in just all around bad stuff. It is not good, and it is permeating our society. It is reaching our children through certain people, sometimes people who are their teachers, sometimes people who are their entertainers, sometimes people who are supposed to be bringing them unbiased news, sometimes through churches, which may be the most upsetting to me. But I've got to take a break. Quick timeout is in order here. When we get back, I want to share a brief conversation I had with talk show host, television show host, conservative commentator, author Mark Levin. You're listening here to the home of conservative, not bitter talk. I am your host, Todd Huff. Back in just a minute.
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, Care to Change, and Interior Construction Services by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
All right, here we go. $100 down, $200 back at $300.
I went to my first firearms auction a few years ago. It was hosted by TJ Freege, one of my good friends from high school, who is a champion auctioneer and one of the best in the business. In spite of objections from liberal legislators, I walked away with a .22 rifle and a few boxes of ammunition. And I had a great afternoon with my grandpa that I won't soon forget. If you've ever wondered what treasure you could find in an auction, visit FreegeAuctioneers.com and take a look at their upcoming Central Indiana auction schedule. That's Freege, Freije, auctioneers.com. Visit FreegeAuctioneers.com.
Hi, I'm TJ Freegee, owner and lead auctioneer at Freegee Auctions and Marketing. I invite you to come see the power of live auctions. It's fast, it's fun, it's transparent, and it's the absolute best way to ensure you get fair market value for your asset today. Get results, go auction.
Weddings, reunions, business, church, or family retreats. Indiana Paradise Retreat is a hidden gem located right here in central Indiana. With over 11,000 square feet, a theater, gym, sauna, hot tub, pool, stocked lakes, and even an on-site event hangar, we have just the place for your next event. Find us on Airbnb, VRBO, or just search for Indiana Paradise Retreat. We look forward to seeing you soon.
The printing industry has changed a lot since we opened for business in 1931, but what our clients expect from us really hasn't changed. Quality print, fast turnaround, and competitive prices. We've learned a lot at Moeller Printing over 86 years and 3 generations. Why not put that experience to work for you? Call 317-353-2224 and mention discount code RADIO to receive 10% off your first order. Call Moeller Printing at 317-353-2224.
I want to get one more season out of my furnace or air conditioner. Have you or someone you know ever made that statement? Economy heating, air conditioning, and plumbing has heard it a lot. Did you know that furnaces and air conditioners are most likely to break down when they're under stress? That means during the hottest and coldest months of the year, like those months quickly approaching us. With winter on the horizon, now is the time to replace that old rickety unit. With 0% financing for up to 72 months and up to $600 in instant rebates, now is the time to buy. Doing great work is Economy's priority, and the satisfaction of their customers is their number one goal, guaranteed. Make your home comfortable this winter. Contact Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing today by calling 317-831-5279 or visit them at economyheatingandair.com.
Hey Indy, Sid here with Kill a Dent Removal. We specialize in a paint-free repair process known as PDR. Our certified master technicians remove dents and dings of all shapes and sizes, including hail damage, with 0 body fillers, 0 painting, and 0 diminished value. Most repairs are completed the same day, many even while you wait. Check us out at killadentremoval.com. And remember, folks, don't paint your car, go PDR.
Are you tired of manually opening the gate every time you pull in the drive, especially during the freezing cold, pouring rain, or hot, humid weather? Then Gatekeeper Services has your solution. They offer affordable residential and commercial motorized units for your gated properties. Veteran-owned with over 50 years' experience in motorized gate sales and repairs on any make or model, and with numerous entry control options, Gatekeeper Services takes pride being certified in both automated gate system design and operator installation. Simplify your life today by calling 317-714-4061.
Well, it is a great honor for me this morning to have the host of one of the most popular talk radio shows in the country, The Mark Levin Show, the host of Fox News' Life, Liberty, and Levin, and author, I should say, of several books, including his latest book, American Marxism. Mark Levin is on the phone with me. Mark, it is a pleasure, sir. How are you this morning?
I'm great, Todd. How are you?
I am doing fantastic, and as I share with you offline, you've been a major influence, a positive influence on me and countless others, so I want to say thank you off the top here.
Wow.
I want to start by asking you.
Kind of you.
Oh, my pleasure. Yeah. Can you start by explaining this insidious brand of Marxism that we're seeing in America today?
Yeah, I try to explain in the book that we have to come to grips with what we're confronting. Because if we don't come to grips with what we're confronting, we're not going to be able to effectively defeat it. And what it is over course of many decades, at least half a century in many of these areas, there have been movements afoot in colleges and universities, and they spread throughout the culture now, promoting what I call American Marxism. So it's not Marxism in every technical respect, but it is Marxism in every fundamental respect. And you've had tenured professors, you've had individuals come into this country from professorial positions in other countries who have had as their aim to destroy the country. Mm-hmm. And we can take critical race theory as a perfect example. That's born out of critical theory. And where does critical theory come from? It comes from a cabal of Marxists who formed something in Berlin called the Franklin School. And these were Marxists who thought that at the end of the Weimar Republic, the people in Germany would rise up and embrace communism. Instead, we know about the Third Reich, and they could never understand it. One of their leaders fled Germany, came to the United States. His name was Herbert Marcus, who I discuss in the book. And this is one of many examples. And he comes to the United States. In the end, he's tenured in 3 different Ivy League schools. And he writes and he aggressively pushes Marxism. And he cannot come to grips with the fact that the communists didn't defeat Hitler in the rise up of the Third Reich. And he looks at the United States, and he sees some similarities in the terms of an industrial country, and as he calls it, a democracy. And he determines in his own mind, we're not going to have the bourgeoisie rising up and overthrowing the proletariat. Instead, we need to secrete ourselves in these different institutions. So he's pushing this theory in law schools to begin with. Mm-hmm. This is a long way of answering all the questions in regard to where does Marxism come from here, which is this, that the laws in the United States are all unjust because the laws are made by the dominant culture. They're made by the majority. Mm-hmm. So the minority, whether they're minority in physical features, minority in viewpoints, cannot get a break. There's no justice for minorities. Big leap from there. Again, I discuss it more in the book. You go to Stanford and then Harvard Law School with a guy by the name of Derek Bell. He's a law professor. He takes that and applies it to race, that black people and other people of color in the United States can't get a break, that this is a corrupt society because the dominant culture, the white culture, makes all the laws, sets all the rules, creates all the policies. We began with slavery, and we still have, severe injustices and inequities. Mm-hmm. So critical race theory is born from critical theory. And so you look at that area, you look at climate change, Green New Deal, which is the latest nomenclature they've come up with, mm-hmm. Global cooling, global warming. Where does that come from? It comes from the 1970s in Europe, where a large number of people got together, communists, again, trying to figure out how to take down industrial societies, particularly ours. It's actually a degrowth movement. It's a war on capitalism. It's a degrowth movement. It has nothing to do with the temperature of the earth or polar bears or clean water or anything of the kind. That's just another facade that they've created. So I go through these different, what I call American Marxist movements, and I explain the history of each one. I quote the people who are fundamentally responsible for them and try and explain their ideology. And this is the first 6 chapters of the book. There's only 7. And the reason I do this is, again, if you're in a military operation or political campaign or your business competing with somebody else, you need to understand what you're up against, or you're not going to win. Mm-hmm. And that's what I've done beyond the surface level. And then in the last chapter, I have scores of suggestions on how we confront each one.
So what makes this, I guess, what you're calling American Marxism so attractive to some Americans, or are they tricked into falling for the ruse because it's coming in the guise of something else? Help us, I guess, understand that.
Yeah, and in the first chapter, I go through some of this psychology of this. People say, why is Marxism so attractive given its track record? Marxism is an abstraction. It's a theory. It's not reality. Mm-hmm. It gives the imagination of heaven on earth. Everybody's going to be equal with a very small government. Once the workers' paradise is established, people just need to surrender their selfishness to the commune, to the greater good. We're too focused on materialism and private property rights. And if there is a reason for your failure, people obstructing your accomplishments, it's because the system is corrupt. Now, it's that latter point that I think is the most attractive to people who are the followers of this movement, not the leaders, because many people who don't work hard, or maybe they fail a lot, or they have whatever their issues are, Marxism gives them excuse. It's not accountability. It's not personal responsibility. The system is corrupt. The system is set up against you. So you can self-identify as oppressed or self-identify as a victim, that the system, it's not you, it's the system. Whereas, the American system is you have freedom, you're an individual, you have free will, you have mobility, you have the ability to do whatever you want. Marxism says, no, you don't, because the system is corrupt. It's set up against you. And so the successful people who are satisfied, people who are happy, they are the oppressors. They are the victimizers. And so the oppressed versus oppressor attitudes. And people like to belong to groups. They like to belong to things. And so this gives them an excuse and also replaces religion with this ideology. The leaders of these movements are diabolical people. You look at the leaders of Black Lives Matter, they're becoming extremely wealthy. They're not in the ghettos and inner cities pushing for school choice or anything else. They're just interested in overthrowing the country, and they're using the veneer of race to try and do it.
So we just have a minute or so left. You mentioned in your book that Marxism, American Marxism, is ubiquitous. It's all over the place. I'm wondering if you could, is there a head? Where's this head of Marxism? Is it more complicated than that? Maybe speak to that for a moment.
Yeah, it is. This is the complexity and daunting nature of what we confront. This isn't a single Marxist. There's the party. That's their headquarters. This is the guy leading it type of thing. The American Marxist is not a movement. It's movements. And these have spawned from Marxism, and what they do is they develop these different approaches based on what they consider imperfections or weak points in the American society. I explain this in the book too, and that's race, the border, climate, and so it is tailored for America. So rather than talk about this great proletariat overthrowing the country, it doesn't happen. As a matter of fact, the reason they hate the industrialized society or the Industrial Revolution in America is because that demonstrated, no, the Industrial Revolution created the great massive middle class in America, not a massive revolutionary movement to overthrow America, which is why Marx and his progeny hate capitalism and hate the American Industrial Revolution, because it proves everything they did wrong. What's happening here? This is a top-down movement. This is a movement by so-called elites, by professors, by teachers, by activists, by politicians, by media types. This isn't truck drivers and electricians and lawyers and doctors all standing up trying to promote critical race theory or undermine their economic system. And that's the way most of these so-called Marxist revolutions occur all over the world. They're not the peasantry or the middle class rising up. It is the top-down type of revolution.
Absolutely. Mark, where can folks grab your book?
Amazon.com is very reliable. They've been actually very good to us in terms of stocking the book. You can get it the next day. Every major retailer has it, Barnes & Noble and so forth. And if they don't, and you go in that store and they don't have it, it's in the back, because we printed hundreds of thousands of copies. We've sold over 500,000. And you should tell the manager, why don't you put the book out? We're having a little bit of that, not a lot of it, but some of it.
Not surprising. Well, Mark, I know you're a busy guy. Keep up the good work. God bless you. Thank you for joining us today. And again, thank you for being so instrumental on people just like me all across this country, sir. I appreciate your time.
Thank you, Todd, and God bless you and everybody in Indianapolis.
Mark, I appreciate it, my friend. God bless, okay?
Had enough of the cancel culture? Why not fight back by directly supporting the advertisers who make this program possible? Visit supportouradvertisers.com to give those who help bring this program to you the opportunity to earn your business. Find out more about businesses like Ward's Apparel, Edwards Equipment, and Indiana Wooded Paradise Retreat by visiting supportouradvertisers.com today.
Geothermal tax credits are back, making this the perfect time to install a new Climate Master geothermal system. Take advantage of this limited time 26% tax credit and begin cutting your heating and cooling bills immediately. Visit indianageothermal.com/info to get your free Climate Master information kit, or call 317-829-1490. Visit indianageothermal.com/info or call 317-829-1490. Geothermal, it's cheaper than you think.
Corin Homes is expanding their 55-plus community. Briar Creek is the only senior manufactured home community in Indianapolis featuring Indiana-built homes. Floor plans and finishes starting at $75,000. Enjoy affordable, low-maintenance lifestyle with the charm of a residential neighborhood. Located minutes from I-465 in Fort Harrison State Park. Corin Homes, family-owned and operated since 1955. Check us out at COHRONhomes.com. Mention the Todd Huff Show and receive a $1,000 discount on your new home.
Family owned since 1973, Edwards Equipment at 1375 East Main Street in Danville is ready to meet your equipment needs by selling, renting, and servicing several makes and models of lightweight residential or heavy-duty commercial equipment. We carry and service top-name brands like Ferris, Kubota, Steel, Gravely, Honda Power, Land Pride, and more. Visit edwardstractor.com or call 317-745-6427 to check out our clearance specials today. At Edwards Equipment, we don't just sell you any piece of equipment, we sell you the right piece of equipment.
How would you like to get a $1,000 bonus after just 3 months on the job? Sound good? If so, Wallace Construction is ready to hire you today. They're a family-owned business with 45 years experience in asphalt, concrete, and seal coating. Call 317-422-5356 to find out more about this $1,000 bonus opportunity. That's Wallace Construction, 317-422-5356. Be sure to tell them Todd sent you. Unhappy with your CPAP machine? Now you have an alternative. The docs at Indy Dental Sleep have an oral appliance that treats snoring and sleep apnea. They begin with an in-home sleep test that is diagnosed by a sleep physician before prescribing your appliance. And it's covered by most medical insurance plans. It's preferred 20-1 versus CPAP. Call 317-888-4036 and start getting the sleep you need. Or visit IndyDentalSleep.com.
Looking for an affordable local Christian college? Look no further. The folks at Bethel University and Grace Church are partnering up to bring you the perfect option for your education. You can experience a Christ-centered education and get your degree without debt through reduced tuition. It's pretty remarkable what they're doing. Find them by visiting bethelatgrace.com. That's bethelatgrace.com.
Are you looking for reliable advice on real estate investing? Then you should start listening to the Homeboys. Clint and Scott have over 40 years of real estate investing experience that they use to educate and guide their listeners. Listen and learn from their experiences to maximize your real estate investment strategy. You can find the Homeboys podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or watch them on YouTube. That's the Homeboys podcast. They can show you how to get started and reach your real estate investment goals.
You're busy. At Citizens Bank, we know your time is precious. That's why we're bringing a full-service branch to Stones Crossing for all your home, commercial, and personal banking needs. Looking to open an account, get assistance from your mortgage and commercial lenders, or just make all banking transactions right from your car? We can make it easy for you. Visit our new branch at 1767 West Stones Crossing Road. Citizens Bank. More bank for your buck.
Welcome back, my friends. I really enjoyed speaking with Mark Levin, and that, that's, I've said on this program before that the greatest single influence, individual to influence me and to teach me, even though I didn't personally sit, and ask him questions, but just listening every day to his program for years, was Rush Limbaugh. And I also have been inspired a lot of ways by Dave Ramsey for a couple of reasons that I can't necessarily, I don't want to go into at this moment, but those were the two biggest individuals that had impact on this program and what I do and kind of my way of thinking. But Mark Levin's up there as well, and I have great respect for Mark Levin and what he's done. He knows the Constitution very, very well. He knows the law very well, and he's very intelligent. And it was an honor to speak with him. It's just, it's just fun to look back. We're so busy here. We're so busy sometimes it's hard to see. You don't take time and just think, wow, that was kind of a cool experience. But it was. And I just want to say thank you to Mark. And it's just kind of, I don't know, it's just a fun part of this journey is to have opportunities like that. So it was indeed an honor. His book is American Marxism. And yeah, they sent me a copy. My wife's already trying to give it away, which I find fascinating. But I'm gonna read the book. She apparently thinks someone else needs to read it first. I don't know what that's all about. But anyway, I appreciate Mark and him taking time here with us on this program and for what he does. So quick time out. When we get back, there's some things that have humored me that I want to get to. One of these here is President Biden yesterday. Do you know if you're not vaccinated, President Biden you're not as smart as he thought you were. You're not as smart as he thought you were. He's got some words for you this morning. If you're amongst the unvaccinated, Charles Barkley said that if you're not vaccinated by this point, you are what's the word I can say? I can't say it. It's what he called you. He calls you a bad name. You're the worst type of person that there is. And Biden thinks you're an idiot, which may be a compliment, I guess. I don't know. Quick timeout is in order. You're listening to Conservative Not Bitter Talk. I'm your host, Todd Huff. Back here in just a minute.
Listen to Todd's show on your way to work, but want to hear more? Don't miss a beat. Visit toddhuffshow.com/listen to catch the program anytime, anywhere.
This is the sound of your typical do-it-yourselfer in completely over his head.
For heating, plumbing,
and electrical done right.
Call Mr. Quick. Call Mr. Quick. Dial the number, spell the words. For on time.
Fireplaces can be beautiful and even essential in heating some homes. But did you know they could be dangerous to your family if not properly maintained? Chimneys need to be cleaned and inspected annually. My family and I had Smalling Masonry inspect ours. They are friendly, informative, on time, and helped us use our wood-burning stove more efficiently. Call Christian-owned Smalling Masonry today at 317-903-8121 and mention my name, Todd Huff, for a 15% off chimney inspection and sweep.
Does your business have a plan for social media marketing? Are you reaching the right audiences through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, and the list goes on? Are you learning from the data? Jarbo can help. Our team doesn't just come in and tell you how to be successful. We help you execute and measure your sales and marketing efforts. Give us a call at 317-834-6560 or visit us online at jarbomarketing.com. That's jarbomarketing.com. Make social media work for you.
All your life, you've planned and taken care of the people you love. They always knew you had a plan. Taking care of your final wishes will give them one final gift. Buying your headstones direct through Thomas Monument saves your loved ones additional stress during a difficult time and saves money by cutting out the middleman. Call 317-244-6525 or go online to thomasmonument.com to understand why families have trusted us since 1962.
Are your health insurance premiums making you sick? There is a cure. With the Pro-Life Health Plan, your savings could be as much as 60%. The Pro-Life Health Plan allows you to enjoy the freedom of choosing any doctor, any hospital, anywhere. And their enrollment is open year-round. Just give Eric a call at 888-448-5370 or visit them online at isellhealth.com. Better coverage at a better cost.
Let's face it, moving is stressful. That's why Jones Movers, a family-owned business for over 40 years, is here to help. Our team is ready to help and respond quickly to your questions. We can handle local and out-of-state moves, which means we can move your items to wherever your pin drops on the map. We also offer self-storage units for furniture and items you need a place for. Go to jonesmovers.com to get things moving today, or visit our Facebook page, Jones Movers.
There is plenty to worry about these days. If you're working with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual, your retirement and financial security doesn't need to be one of them. Blake is a time-tested financial advisor with over 20 years of experience at Northwestern Mutual. For an independent review of your financial planning needs, call Blake and mention the Todd Huff Show for a free initial consultation. Call 317-215-8322 or visit blakehornsby.com. Invest in your peace of mind with Blake Hornsby at Northwestern Mutual. Welcome back, my friends. So, Biden, if you've not been vaccinated, Biden doesn't think you're very smart. I tell you what, I just can't get enough of this kind of stuff. What in the world is this? So, the Art of Persuasion, you know that we talk about this a little bit on here, and with Conservative Not Bitter University, I think this is critical. But when you find yourself resorting to this sort of rhetoric, nuh-uh, you're stupid. You're too stupid for this. R2, are not. Yes, you are. I'm rubber, you're glue. Whatever I say bounces off me and sticks to you, or whatever. You know what I mean? This is what I feel like. This is so underwhelming to me. I don't even know how to explain this. Listen to this. This is Biden walking off stage after giving what was probably just a stellar speech / press conference, whatever this stupid thing was yesterday. But listen to this exchange as he walks off the stage here.
Require all federal employees to get vaccinated.
It's under consideration right now, but if you're not...
The question was, will you require all federal employees to be vaccinated? Here you go.
You're not nearly as smart as I thought you were.
Are you concerned that the CDC's new max guidance could sow confusion?
Uh-oh, he didn't like this, no.
We have a pandemic because of the unvaccinated, and there's sowing enormous confusion. And the more we learn, about this virus, and the Delta variation, the more we have to be worried and concerned. And then only one thing we know for sure. If those other 100 million people got vaccinated, we'd be in a very different world. So get vaccinated. If you haven't, you're not nearly as smart as I said you were. Thanks.
So now you're stupid. Now we've literally resulted to you're stupid if you don't agree with President Biden. I literally consider this a compliment. This is so moronic to me. This says to me you have nothing that you can do besides name call at this point. I mean, there are legitimate questions. How about you find the answer? See, the problem is for some people who think about these things independently, and if you get the vaccine, fine. If you don't, fine. I'm just saying, just think about it. Make your own choice. Make your own choice, which I know you do on this program. But Biden here has gone past the point of saying, giving us reasons why. We're now on to, well, you're stupid. We have a pandemic because people aren't getting vaccinated? No, that's not what caused the pandemic. Well, Todd, he means the second wave. We're beginning to see a second wave or a third wave or a 10th wave or whatever wave we think we're on here now. There's a lot of questions about this. I don't have time. There's stories about leaked data from COVID-19 in the UK that said that over half of the people that were being treated for COVID-19 were really treated for the symptoms were caused by other things. I mean, there's all sorts of questions about this. Of course, I'm sure this will get taken down, but that's what's being reported. I don't know what they want me to do. Goes back to what we were talking about earlier with this American Marxism, as Mark Levin's book is entitled, this insidious just process where you can't ask certain questions about COVID-19, you can't ask certain questions about January 6th, and you cannot ask certain questions about election integrity. Call me crazy, but when someone tells me I can't answer that, or the best reason they can tell me for following their way of looking at things is that I'm stupid, I am completely underwhelmed by that. Completely underwhelmed. And you should be too, and I know you are. This is stupid. This is not leadership. I don't even know what to call this. Biden doesn't think I'm smart. Maybe that should be a t-shirt. I think that's a compliment. Quick timeout, back in just a minute.
Enrollment in Todd's Conservative Not Bitter University is now open. For a limited time, save $10 on Todd's first course, A Christian's Guide to Being a Patriot. For more information or to enroll, visit conservativenotbitter.com. Sponsored in part by Workforce Chaplains. Could your business or organization benefit from the services of a professional team of chaplains? Meet the needs of your employees and foster an excellent work environment with Workforce Chaplains. For more information, visit workforcechaplains.com today.
Our sense of smell stimulates memory and emotion. A scent can seemingly transport us to another place in time. Homemade, hand-poured candles and melts from spur-of-the-moment creations will give your nose the experience the rest of your body is missing during any season of the year. Crackling firewood, fresh-cut grass, Macintosh apple, and even racing fuel are some of their over 200 engaging fragrances. Visit spurofthemomentcreations.com and enter coupon code TODD at checkout to receive 15% off your order today.
Were you surprised by your tax return last year? Did you get a large refund? Or worse, did you have to pay more than you thought to the IRS? Or maybe you just got a new job, had a baby, or are going into retirement. Why wait for another tax surprise this year? Let Jody Dowdle with Midwest Tax Group help you project your taxes for the year to save you the stress come tax time. 317-288-5260. Jody and his team will analyze your paychecks to see if you're withholding too much or too little and help make corrections to any W-4s. If you're the sole proprietor of a business, this is a great idea for you to prepare for your tax filing. Midwest Tax Group has 4 office locations in Castleton, Greenwood, Plainfield, and their new location in Greenfield. Schedule your appointment today at 317-288-5260. And don't wait. The sooner you act, the more prepared you can be for any hidden tax surprises. That's 317-288-5260. Or visit their website at mwtaxgroup.com.
Has it been a while since your last eye checkup? Has your eyesight changed? At Best Insight Eye Care, they keep an eye on your vision. Their doctors use the most advanced technology and eye care products available. At Best Insight, you will find professionals who genuinely care about you and are dedicated to providing exceptional service. Mention this ad for 10% off your glasses purchase. Schedule your appointment at the Southeast Side, Indianapolis, or New Palestine locations by visiting bestinsighteyecare.com or calling 317-782-4000 to get the best insight.
Are you looking to purchase waterproof flooring for your home? Did you know it's as easy as typing rnrproducts.com/Todd in your search engine for a great deal on our core tech line? Since 1971, R&R Products has provided brand name products at an affordable price to the listening area. Call 317-745-5794 or go online to rnrproducts.com/Todd. R&R Products. We make your flooring experience easy and affordable.
Remember how hot it was last summer? I was sweating our AC bills, so we replaced our system. We took advantage of Commercial Services' 72-month special financing. We have no interest after we pay in full within 72 months. No more embarrassing sweaty t-shirts. So if you want commercial-grade service for your home, give Commercial Service a call today.
Subject to credit approval. Call Commercial Service for details at 812-339-9114 or online at commercialservice.com.
Need to refresh or renovate your commercial space? Call Interior Construction Services today. Providing the highest level of quality construction at a competitive price, our service-minded team is here to deliver the detail-oriented environment you're looking to create on time and on budget. Call us at 317-991-4660 or visit us online at interiorconstruct.com. Interior Construction Services. Progressive, productive, professional.
Get this out quickly here. Did you see these? Remember the Democrats that fled Austin, Texas to Washington, D.C. that act like they're trying to save Texas from, I don't know, some totalitarian government because of the voter laws that Texas is trying to pass. You see this, right? You remember this. I know you remember this because we talked about this. But did you see that they had requested care packages? Dallas Democrats said this. Our Dems in D.C. said they'd appreciate care packages from home. This is a tweet. Before 5 p.m. Tuesday, we're collecting Dr. Pepper salsa, hard candy, hairspray, travel toiletries, hand sanitizers, sewing kits, first aid, and or money to pay shipping. Thank you. These folks are something else. I've got to go. SDG, see them, I'll take care.
Our word can't be diluted because we are taught that a promise is a commitment in which you always follow through. No ifs, ands, or buts. So every time you walk through Greg Hubler Chevrolet doors, you can count on the advice and expertise we provide you. Because when we make a promise, we keep it. Greg Hubler Chevrolet. Promise kept. Visit GregHublerChevy.com. Find new roads.
If you're thinking of buying or selling a home, call my good friend Scott Veerkamp. Scott and his team have been helping people with their real estate needs since 1992, and he has sold literally thousands of homes for good families just like yours. For all your real estate needs, call Scott Veerkamp today at 317-979-4663. That's 979-HOME.
As a listener of this program, I have no doubt that you embrace the value of hard work, honesty, and integrity. And when you have the opportunity to work with a company that fully embraces and shares these values, I'm sure you jump at it. Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is just that type of company in Central Indiana. Jeff and Jod Woods have a team of professional technicians here to help tune up your furnace or install a quality new train system. And they're also here to fix those nasty plumbing problems that seem to happen at the absolute worst time. So the next time you have a plumbing, heating, or cooling need, give the good folks at Economy Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing a call. Call 317-831-5279. That's 317-831-5279. Or visit economyheatingandair.com.